At the count of 3, we'll stand. In love, peace, and harmony, we shall build a tower. In love, let thy clarion call. In unity we grow, committed to the state of our learning, our hearts from vanity, standing firm in wisdom, in knowledge and in truth we honor your virtues, glory. You stand in strength and pride, learning, winning, building, praying, showing the way for all who hear, making a future for the ones who follow, rising high. We must never turn. Glory, glory. Your touch has guided us upwards and onwards. Glory, glory. Our alma mater we sing. Thank you very much. Please be seated. Again, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you. You are very much welcome. It is still the 50th anniversary celebration of our university, and we thank you for being here and to be part of this. Please, let's take our seats, those of us in uniform. Well, the program started on Sunday at our churches, where we have the Thanksgiving services. And yesterday, Monday, we had a walk, the anniversary walk. And of course, it was really a very fun-filled affair. And yesterday also, the university management met with the former principal officers of the university, where we had the opportunity of listening to the journey so far. And also we had a peep into what the next 50 years will look like. And today also, the Vice-Chancellor met with the press. And what is the use, or what is a university without students? And this is why the Vice-Chancellor and the management team, they are meeting with the students of the university this evening. And this is telling us how very important you are to the business that we do here at the university. So, for being important, so important, please put your hands together for yourselves. Well, introducing to us the administration of the university, ably led by our Vice-Chancellor, our distinguished Professor Wahab Olashukwu Egbewale, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. The Deputy Vice-Chancellor Academic, Professor Mujita Ibad Bakari Odunola, you're very much welcome. And the Deputy Vice-Chancellor Management Services, Professor Adegboyega Adisafawale, sir, you are welcome. Welcoming also the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Research, Technology and Innovation, Professor Mukhtar Adeiza Itudaye. The University Librarian is also here, Professor Kamaldeen Tunde Omopupa. You're welcome, sir. We welcome also the Acting Dean, Student Affairs of the university, the father of 50,000 students plus that we have on campus, Dr. Moreni Keji, Alex Akomo. You're very much welcome. We want to welcome also the chairman, 50th Anniversary Committee, Professor Lubinga Ayodeji Mokolu. Sir, you're very much welcome. And we welcome also our council members. And we have Professor Mariam Abdurrahim Mustafa. You're welcome, Madam. Professor Mufta Adeni Jaya, you're very much welcome, sir. Malam Abdurrashid Dauda Gidadu, you're welcome, sir. Yes, we also have here, some of our directors are here, and we want to, the Director, Advancement Center, Professor Wahid Obatunde Yaya. You're welcome, sir. He's fully ready for tomorrow. And we welcome all our distinguished professors who are here, the members of the 50th Anniversary Committee, Professor Gumoiko, Professor Bolaji. You're all very much welcome. Please, let's put our hands together for them. Students matter, so we welcome also Dr. Nogun, the Subdean Student Affairs. You're welcome. Dr. Tosin Igbayiloye, Subdean Female Student Affairs. You're welcome. We want to welcome also our student leaders, union leaders, welcoming the President, Comrade Idris Adelu. He's here with his team. Yes, they are here. And welcoming also the President Poxas, Comrade Akim Kuranga. He's also here with his team members. You're all very much welcome. We welcome our union leaders. We have the chair, Nat here, Mr. Olufemi Awolola. The chair Nasu, Comrade Olufemi Awolola. And the chair Nasu, Comrade Suberu Haruna Ibrahim. You're welcome. Our former Subdean is also here. Our Comrade Subdean, Comrade Professor Yusuf. You are welcome. And currently the Director, Institute of Education. You are very much welcome. We welcome the Director, SPS. You are very much welcome, son, Professor Adelipigbe Sunday. So once again, we welcome each and every one of you. And to put the welcome address in perspectives, I'd like to invite the Dean Student Affairs, Comrade Dr. Moreni Keji Alex Akomu.
Thank you very much. It's our day, and we really want to enjoy ourselves. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, all protocol duly observed. I do not want to take much of my time to observe protocol so that I can use that time for something that has to do with the student body. And before I make welcome all of us, with your kind permission, let me welcome upstage 4 individuals. One, we have 2 speakers for today, for a period of 7 minutes or thereabout each. The first, let me welcome upstage Comrade Professor A. Yusuf. Let me also welcome another speaker. Okay. He is not Comrade Professor, but Comrade Estate or Real Estate Manager. That's Lukman Shobowale, a.k.a. Eminent. With your kind permission, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, let me also welcome humbly upstage the President of the Student Union, Comrade Adelu Idris, and the President of the Postgraduate Students Association, Mr. Kuranga Akim. And if it's not going to be too much, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, let me specifically recognize the groups that we have here. First, we have the Central Executive of the Student Union to stand, and let's appreciate them. The Central Executive Committee of the Student Union. You have the vice president for both campuses and other members of the executive here. We have members of the Senate Council. Is it the 12th? The 12th Council. The 12th Assembly. There was a sitting on this campus on Saturday, and we had to argue back and forth on constitutional matter. Standing and ad hoc committee. Now you are standing up now for recognition. Thank you very much. Please, the rest be seated while the Senate President remains standing and take a bow. Okay, that is the Senate President of the Student Union. You have the gavel and the mace that day. I have the microphone now. Let me especially now recognize the Central Executive Council of the Postgraduate, that's Postgraduate Student Association. Please stand for recognition. We'll appreciate you. The Student Representative Council of the Postgraduate, please stand up also for recognition. I know the speaker is somewhere there. Oh, thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Please be seated. To their left, or next to them, you have the president of various faculties. That's 16 faculties. President, will you please stand for recognition? Where is President, Faculty of Education, the most populous faculty? 1/4 of the entire university is from the Faculty of Education. A university on its own. Since nobody is contesting that, please be seated. Is the President of Faculty of Law here? Please stand up specially for recognition. President, Faculty of Law. Okay, we are legally all right. Speakers of various houses, all the faculty speakers, please stand for recognition. We used to have a speaker from the Faculty of Social Sciences. She suspended all the honorable at a sitting for 3 months, when the tenure itself remains 3 weeks. Please be seated. We now have departmental president. Vice President, I'm coming to you specially. Departmental presidents and their general secretary, please stand for recognition. Thank you very much. Please be seated. The vice president of various faculties, please stand for recognition. We thank you for coming. The general secretary of various faculties, please stand up for recognition. Well, thank you. The clerk of the houses. The clerk, please stand up for recognition. Behind the faculty president, you have Indigenous Association president. Please stand for recognition. At the last count, we already have 267 registered clubs, association on this campus. But those invited here are specifically of Indigenous Association. Please be seated. I must recognize specially those done by the MC, the Subordinate Student Affairs, current and past. Dr. Garba is somewhere here, Dr. Dolapo is somewhere here, and of course, Barrister Dr. Tose Igbayiloye. She's becoming more like us in student affairs. And then Dr. Rashid Onagun. I have a simple duty to put in perspective while we are seated here this evening. And I just put it by saying, count it a real privilege. And I've observed all the protocol as expected. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, sir, I must indeed show gratitude for allowing this kind of interactive session to take place. This occasion, by my understanding, is not normal. It is unique and special. For those who are doing the work of the pulpit, they will say the deep call unto the deep. This occasion is a very deep one and a rare one. It is my prayer that God open our eyes of understanding to know how unique this event is. I want to especially congratulate Mr. Vice-Chancellor for accepting, for initiating, and making this to come to reality, sir. Two records that we cannot contest. You are the sitting Vice-Chancellor for the 48th convocation ceremony. And by the special arrangement, you are also the sitting Vice-Chancellor for 58th anniversary of this university. In the lifetime of a university, it is not likely that anybody will be able to work more than 45 years. Even if you are employed at the age of 25, you have 45 years to retirement as an academic, which means at most, you can only work with 9 vice-chancellors. 48th anniversary, as a matter of fact, contributed a chapter for the 48th anniversary. And now history has made it possible for me to be witnessing the 58th anniversary. It is the first time, not contestable, it is the first time by record that we will have this kind of interactive session for those anniversaries that we ever had in this university. The first time. God sparing our life, the next major one will be the 60th, the 70th, the 88th, the 98th, and the centenary himself. May all of us be alive, God sparing alive, and in good health, enough to be part of the celebrations. I know that by divine covenant, I should be around for the 100th celebration. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, before I take my seat, let me speak briefly about the two speakers that you have today. It's just by coincidence and by divine arrangement that the two of them will be speaking. When Professor Ishaq Olanrewaju, the emeritus professor, became Vice-Chancellor, about 3 of us were specifically requested to come and work in the university. And I was charged deliberately to go to student affairs with 2 others to put that unit in right shape. It was a tough time that time. And one of the speakers here today, because at that time, by history, there is no sub-dean of student affairs that is resident in student affairs. You are appointed dean, sub-dean, and you operate from your personal office. If the dean needs you, he calls you, and you stay in you go back to your office. And so I have the real privilege of being possibly the youngest person, handling the work of a deputy registrar, student affairs, and sub-dean technically. And so I handed over, when I was to return to the faculty in 2012, to then Dr. Yusuf. I remember I gave Dr. Yusuf a brown file. This is how to govern student affairs. By luck, Dr. Yusuf handed over to me in 2017 as the sub-dean. So I handed over to him, he returned the file to me in 2017. But something happened while Dr. Yusuf was the sub-dean student affairs. Eminent was the president I inherited. He was on his way out. But he still have some months in the office. And there was a major crisis in the university. CBT exam turned rowdy, and there was argument between the sub-dean faculty of engineering and eminent. So the story have it that you push me, I did not push you. By 1 hour later, the Facebook was flooded with the sub-dean engineering slapped the president student union. It was also the first time the vice-chancellor will order by evening that day cessation of office. The sub-dean faculty of engineering, then Dr. T.K. Ajiboye, was asked to stop functioning as the sub-dean engineering immediately. And by night, some group of students mobilized themselves and went to engineering and locked up the office of Ajiboye as the sub-dean faculty of engineering. And so I was invited back with some other people. At that time, I've assumed the role of chairman, forum of union of former president of the student union, FUSOP. We started the meeting, and it lasted up to 7 p.m. in the office of the Vice-Chancellor to resolve the matter that night. So the sub-dean that time, and then the one that we had to resolve matter for are the speaker today, A. Yusuf and Comrade Eminent. It was that incident that gave birth to the emergence of read-off, because engineering students mobilized about that the next election, president must come from engineering. And how they did it, because it was the year, 2 years before that time, we start electronic election. And usually we go to engineering to borrow computer before we start voting on portal. So they will give us about 200 laptops. We will generate code, because part of the things we did that time was that before now, student union election will dovetail to middle of the night. We will be counting by 3 a.m. with so much fear. And so we started e-voting. Engineering students were the brain behind it. And so they decided engineering must be president. The rest is a story. Engineering students emerged the president. Read-off emerged the president. And then Lukman ran to another problem. He had problem with the sub-dean that time. He had graduated. He ran to another problem with the student union contract. And I was then the sitting sub-dean. Then he came back. The person he had problem with is now in the US, Rashid. Nothing was delivered. Full payment. Then we called Eminent, come. Thank God he came back and he said, now he's rich. We would have thought that it was that, but he's in real estate, not in student union. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, sir, the importance of this is to tell us that we have very rich history. Between yesterday and now, we have been told so much about our history. And in the Bible, there is a saying, where are your fathers? Do they live forever? Many will not be here 10, 15 years' time. But this history that we have packaged is to make it very seamless for us to navigate. I am sure that today we will have it a better time to interact with one another. We will be challenged about what and where we should be in another 10 years, in another 20 years, and in another 50 years. I welcome you all to this interactive session, and I think it is not too much to appreciate the Vice-Chancellor as I close for initiating and making this to come to reality. Thank you, and God bless you.
Greatest of the greatest of the greatest Unilorites. Of the greatest Unilorites. Well, we heard some things about the dean yesterday, but I'm not saying anything about that here today. Don't worry. All right, thank you very much, the Dean Student Affairs. And ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to us. They've been introduced earlier, but then I'd love to reintroduce them. Well, let's welcome our comrade, Professor Yusuf, former Sub-Dean Student Affairs and currently the Director, Institute of Education. Still just introducing you, sir. Those who know Comrade as the Subdean, you know, those who were here as students that time. You're welcome once again. I will be talking to Ross much later. And I'd like to also introduce or reintroduce to Ross Ambassador Lukman Shobowale, the 30th president of the Students' Union of this university. Recently, when we did the investiture of ambassadors of this university, he was one of them. And again, that's eminent. I don't know if you've been, you must have heard of that before. If you are clapping, do it like you mean it. And that's the man behind Dukiya. You may wish to Google that to know more about him. So you're welcome, Ambassador Lukman Shubawale. I'd like to recognize also the chairman, Sanu, Comrade Nahim Olushola Falowa, who is here ably represented by the Vice, Comrade Jimo Musbao Olalikon. You're welcome, sir. You didn't clap very well. That's my own union. All right, you're welcome. But before we listen to our speakers for this evening, we'd love to first hear from the Vice-Chancellor to give a remarks just before we listen to other speakers at this event. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, sir.
My employers, members of the Governing Council, the Deputy Vice-Chancellors, the University Librarian, Chairman, 50th Anniversary, Acting Dean of Students, our resource persons, Professor Yusuf, and Ambassador Shobowale, the President of Student Union, the President of Postgraduate Students, Sub-Deans of the Student Affairs, Directors of various units. I can see Director of Advancement, the Senate President, the presidents and officers of various faculties. I think I missed out the CEC. I recognize you all. Great Unilorites. We want to start by thanking Almighty God for giving us the opportunity to be gathered this evening. Let me apologize for the mix-up in the time. Mix-up because it was scheduled and we intended to allow it to work. But somehow, the commissioning got a bit delayed, so we could not make the visits early enough to come back. But the good thing is that we already sent in words that we will be making this interaction at 5 p.m. When the acting dean of students was narrating the story, he didn't tell us what some of the vice-chancellors, the 6 he worked with, at least 2, said a few things about him yesterday. He was and possibly still is Alex Power. And I'm not sure he handed over that power to any of you guys. He did, Abby. You see now, because the narrative yesterday underscored that he is indeed Alex Power. He was infant terrible. He was a pain in the neck. But thank God, he has paid his dues for the University of Ilorin. Thank you for your sacrifices. And of course, given the history he has made and the fact that he was part of 25th anniversary, part of 30th anniversary, part of 40th anniversary, and now part of 50th anniversary, a very rare privilege. What is clear is that we are gathered here this evening for a unique ceremony, a ceremony that we have never witnessed any kind of. Therefore, you should count yourselves extremely lucky to be part of this celebration. You are not just a dot. You are indeed a critical stakeholder in the project called University of Ilorin. Critical stakeholders in the sense that by the time we count 1, 2, 3, this number is significant. It means you are not just a passerby in our university. By the time the history of the university is told, it will be told that one time Idris Adelu was president, X was vice president, S was president of a particular faculty, B was Senate president, and so on and so forth. Therefore, you are supposed to really be grateful to God for being the golden executive of the University of Ilorin in all its ramifications. The first question is, why do we need to celebrate 50th anniversary? There is need for us to reflect on where we are coming from. There is need for us to reflect on where we are. And there is need for us to reflect on where we intend to be. And that is why we have gathered to celebrate the 50th anniversary. Where are we coming from? It was a time that every time we have students rampage, it left the rampage of students to staff disputes. And it took some students to bring sanity to the workforce in terms of the operations of the unions. Count yourselves lucky that you are part of this celebration that is declaring our university as matured, that exhibited the fact that we have what it takes to be a university. It has also been a period where we intend to fashion a way for our future as a university. That, in a nutshell, is why we need to celebrate 50th anniversary. In celebrating 50th anniversary, why do we need this interaction? When the acting dean of students was talking the other time, he underscored the fact that this is the first time, at least in 25 years, that this kind of celebration will hold and this kind of interaction will hold, you should count yourself extremely lucky. We need this interaction because as the leaders of the students' body, you own this celebration. If you own this celebration, why do we not then ensure that we celebrate for the purpose for which the celebration is meant? In my own view, the celebration is expected, the interaction is expected to lay foundation for the centenary celebration. It is no cause, and the prayer does not stop it. Most of us on this side of the divide will not be here in 50 years' time. It is not about cause, it's not about prayer. It is just the normal course of events. The way a number of them that started this university 50 years ago are no longer here. But we still have some. So it is possible that a few of us on this divide will be here. And if we go by the normal curve of life, majority of you on that side will be here to celebrate the centenary. And that is why this interaction is important to us. You will be able to sit down there and tell the story the way the acting dean of student affairs has told the story. I was part of 25, I was part of 30, I was part of 50. You'll be able to say, yes, I was part of 50, I was part of 60, I was part of 70, and I'm now part of 100. And you'll be able to say that I recall that we had an interaction with the Vice-Chancellor during that celebration. Now, what do you need to do to prepare for that next 50 years? In my view, the first goal is for you to excel as students in your various disciplines. It is only when you excel that you will be able to tell a story in 50 years' time. 2, acquire the best of training from this university. 3, acquire all the necessary skills that you need to use after your tenure as students in this university. Go out there as worthy ambassadors of our university, the way Dr. Alex Akanmu is a worthy ambassador of University of Ilorin, the way Ambassador Lukman Shobowale is an ambassador of our university. Go there, show the world that you have been trained in the best tradition of the University of Ilorin, the indeed better by far university. I also urge you, leave this university, but remain with the network of the university. Create a bond for yourselves, from yourselves, by yourselves, such that in 20 years' time, in 25 years' time, in 30 years' time, you will still connect. I recall that it's just a call from Dr. Alex Akanmu to Ambassador Shobowale brought him here today. Just a call from Alex Akamu to Ambassador Shobowale is bringing 250 bed spaces to our university, courtesy of Ambassador Shobowale. It is important that you take the opportunity of this celebration, the opportunity of this interaction, to resolve to come back again, and again, because you are indeed better by far and you continue to be our ambassadors. Please take this opportunity seriously. Share your views frankly for the purpose of shaping a future for ourselves. Our golden said, congratulations.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice-Chancellor. Just as you have said, we are here to make history, because by the time many of them, students today, will be celebrating the centenary, they'll be able to cast their minds back to say, yes, the Vice-Chancellor was here, he addressed us, the auditorium used to be here, and now we are here, like that. Thank you very much. Well, I'd like to recognize the presence here of the National Vice President, alumni, Unilearning alumni, Engineer is what? You're very much welcome, madam. You're welcome. You are sitting so far away from us. Ushers. And sitting immediately beside engineer is Professor Zaid Aderoju, all the way from Lagos. Aderolu, one of our panelists for the program scheduled for tomorrow, so don't miss it. Sir, you're also to move so close to the Vice-Chancellor here. There are seats here, please. We have seats here for them. Let's keep clapping for them till they get to their seats. Don't worry, sit by our council members here. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. And distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we want to listen to the speakers, our speakers for today, and I'm inviting first Professor Comrade Professor Yusuf, former sub-dean and currently the Director Institute of Education. Prof, sir, you're welcome. He has promised that he will be speaking for just 10 minutes to us, but then 7. Okay, 7 minutes. You're welcome, sir.
Great Nigerian students, ever vibrant Nigerian students. I have recognized you even before my Vice-Chancellor, because you are not just a member of this community, but the most important stakeholder in our system. The Vice-Chancellor, sir, the members of the council of this university, the members of the management of the university, the chairman, 50th anniversary committee, the students, the father of all students. I remember they always call us father without family planning. And we always accept it because you are our future and the future is here today. So I congratulate the Student Affairs Dean. It is a privilege to stand before you today at this historic moment, a moment where reflection meets aspiration, where the story of 50 years transitions into the blueprint of 100 years. Today's engagement is not just a meeting, it's not another meeting. It is an intergenerational handshake. Those who built the first 50 years of this university are here today. And those who will carry the institution into centenary are also here. This makes the gathering profoundly symbolic. The topic that I was given, success through institutional commitment. Many times when we talk about success, we personalize it. My success, my future, my career, my goals. But this evening, I want us to shift our focus to institutional success, the kind of success that outlive individuals and define generations. Institutional success is not an accident. It is built on shared values, consistent commitment, disciplined leadership, and a vision that each generation strengthens for the next. The University of Ilorin is not 50-year-old by accident or by chance. It is standing strong because at different points in history, students, staff, and other stakeholders are committed and have committed themselves to excellence, discipline, stability, and progress. Our dear students, we thank you for that stability. As students, you are more than office holders, you are custodians. Every action you take, every protest, every negotiation, every project, every meeting, and every welfare intervention always advance our progress and strengthen or weakens our university future. Institutional commitment means choosing dialogue over disruption, pursuing freedom instead of chaos, fighting for student rights with responsibility, defending the university image, not damaging it, thinking long term and not just short term popularity. A committed student leadership leaves footprints. Today, we are proud of forwarding the eminent president. We still remember those student leaders who initiated landmark projects, who advanced academic excellence, who fostered unity, who built bridges and not walls. What legacy will you leave? Will you leave as our student leaders? The next 50 years starts now. The future of the university will not be written in the Senate building alone. It will be written in the decisions student leaders take today. The quality of student organizations, the academic culture you promote, the discipline you uphold, and the collaboration you forge. If the last 50 years were for laying foundation, the next 50 years will be about building the structures, whether physical, intellectual, ethical, and digital, that will define Unilorin at 100. To achieve that, students must commit to excellence as a lifestyle. The stability Unilorin is known for depends on the student embracing excellence in conduct, academic, and leadership. Innovation as a duty. Students should become hub of creative thinking, championing startup, tech ideas, community impact projects, and sustainability initiatives. The next 50 years demand leaders who can say no to cultism, corruption, manipulation, and mediocrity. Institutional success is not management versus students. It is management with students. Let us be clear. When you commit the success of your institution, you indirectly commit to your own success. A university that is respected enhances your degree. A university that is peaceful makes your learning meaningful. A university that is progressive opens doors for your future. Your CV does not stand alone. Your institutional reputation stands beside it. Therefore, your success is tied to the success of University of Ilorin, and the success of Unilorin is tied to the commitment of its students. As we move from the 50th anniversary toward the centenary, I present a simple challenge. Be the generation that strengthens the foundation. Be the generation remember for discipline, innovation, and responsibility. Be the generation that looks beyond election and politics. Choose projects and programs and policy that builds legacy. Dream big for this university. Let your tenure inspire the next. Let your leadership elevate those who will come after you. As a former sub-dean, I want to remind us that the next chapter belongs to us, to all of us, and that true success emerges when individuals commit to the growth of their institution. Let us walk into the next 50 years with purpose. Let us nurture a university that will not only celebrate a centenary, but celebrate it with pride and unmatched excellence. University of Ilorin, the Better by Far University, God bless you, God bless all of us, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Did you check the time? Our teachers are always very apt. So let's appreciate Professor Yusuf again. Well, as an elder, and also someone who is into the business of education, a teacher, someone who has been in the Student Affairs Unit before, he has advised us, and he told us that what we are here to do is actually an intergenerational handshake we are having, and we'll have that handshake. But then I'd like to recognize the University Registrar, Barrister Mansur Adeleke Afanla. Sir, you're welcome. You're not clapping very well. You don't know how powerful the man is. That's the man that will endorse your certificate. Did you hear the DSA? Oh, you want to clap again? Oh, yeah. And the University Bursar, Mr. Abiodun Lawal. Sir, you're very much welcome. Okay, you're welcome. So let's now have the intergenerational handshake by inviting our 30th President, Ambassador Lukman Shubowale, to speak to us.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, sir, other distinguished members of the management team, I want to take this opportunity to appreciate, the university for this great opportunity. I consider it a real privilege. Better by far, students. I mean, great Unilorite. Great Unilorite. Come on, we still have it in us, man. Great Unilorite. Greatest go-go. I used to tell people that, I don't look like a typical, student, what you will call an ideal student, president. Because at the University of Ilorin, it is not Aluta but Aloha. It is not hooliganism but constructive unionism. And I think that's one thing that has distinguished us from many other institutions. I want to once again give a round of applause for this institution and Citadel of Learning for the way they have raised and built us. I want to particularly appreciate, the committee. I remember when, somebody first reached out to me, one of the advocates, and said that, somebody on the committee, Mrs. Afolayan, she said, you must be there. Well, I'm here now. Although I didn't plan to come until this morning because it wasn't comfortable. I had a meeting at an embassy in the morning, and I told my wife that on my way back, after work, I'll pick my daughter from school. Only for, the dean of students to call me and say that you have to be there. I checked all the available flights and there was no way. I also begged people on social media, maybe there was somebody that has a private jet that can bring me, but unfortunately I didn't get any. So I told my driver that we have to be in Kwara, and we left Lagos by 10, we got here by 3. So, it means a lot to me that I'm here. You guys mean so much to me, and I'm glad to be doing this. So I've been asked to speak about an interesting topic, but before then I have a story to share. I remembered when, I wanted to get into the University of Ilorin. I was sent by my grandfather, Alaji, the only man I know in my family, because my parents kept me in a place. I lost my dad and mom when I was very young. And so, they placed the 4 of us in different vocations, the family members. The eldest son, Monsuru, they kept him to be learning how to make terrazzo. The second born, Ismaila, they asked him to learn furniture. And they look at my own destiny. Look, man, they said this one, learn how to sell meat. So they kept him with a butcher, Babalausa, in a place they call Bada in Ayobo. It's a local government in Lagos, under Alimosho. And my younger one, Sadiq, they kept the boy to learn how to repair generators. And so, every day I will wake up and I will see people on that, little tiny street with dust and no similitude of greatness. Thank you very much. And my only aspiration is that one day I will also wear uniform and I will go to school. But I had no background of formal education. I was about maybe 9 years old. I've never been to school. But I always see people go to school and I'm inspired. I'll take the bicycle, from the Babaile to go and deliver meat to different shops in Alaja. And I will see these people go to school, these little kids go to school, and I'll be inspired by their greatness. And so one day, I took my Ashoile, the only thing I had, and 1 slippers. And I remember that my mom had a father. We called him Alaji, not necessarily directly my grandfather. And that was the only person in my family that I consider great. Each time he visited us, he would give us brand new notes. So we call him Alaji Agoro. So one day I took that decision that, you know what? I can't just stay here wishing to be great. I need to run. So Babelero had gone to Abattoir to get meat. And I took my clothes and my slippers and I ran about 30 kilometers to a place they call Ishefun inside Ayobo. to where I remember that my grandfather has a block industry. And they told me that this man is not around because at this time it's close to Ileya, a Muslim festival, and that there is no way that I can meet him on ground. So I said, I'm going to sleep here. So I slept at the door, and I told his tenants that when this man comes, tell him that his grandson is waiting for him. At that point, I wasn't sure if he remembers, if he has a grandson by that name. But they called him and told him that his grandson. He said, he cannot remember having that kind of grandchild. I said, tell him almost way back. That was my mom, of blessed memory. And so he came down, saw me, and decided that he was going to give me an opportunity. And that man took me to his house, a place they call Abeson Ipaja, Jakonde Estate in Ipaja. And when I got there, his wife was the head of all the onion sellers in Yanokwaja. So this is a boy yearning to be educated, by all means, to the point that I ran to them. And now, because they have just absorbed me into their home, they might not just want to give me that opportunity. They don't know where I'm from. Just like you're trying to help a child, you don't know his habit, his culture, or how well you can trust them with your resources. So they decided that, well, this boy, just take him to the market. Let's see what happens to him. So I'll follow them to the market every market day. And then I will start documenting everybody owing Alaja. I will start asking them for money. And people started calling me chairman, that this boy, you cannot owe his mama. Oh. And so they saw some similitude of, maybe seriousness. And we have a man in our house. We were living in flat 5. The way they built that Jakonde Estate is 3 floors, each 2 units per floor. So we're living in flat 5, somebody is in flat 3. So anytime he's a barrister, he owns a school. So every time I'm trying to take one book or another book, trying to read, exploring their lamp, because they are always on gen. My grandfather is quite obsolete and anachronistic, so he doesn't believe that we should buy a generator. We use what they call this lantern. This lantern we normally use. And so at that time, they gave me the chance. The man, everybody coming to visit, say, anytime I pass here, there is one boy that is always exploring your lights. So they decided to give me an opportunity. Now, what am I trying to portray here is that I'm trying to share my story of a boy whose father was a carpenter, whose mom used to sell a bati on lobe. That's what my mom always said, lobe. We were so poor that my mom cannot afford to prepare, she cannot afford to sell eba and soup. Her niche was providing eba for people who had soup. It's a special need. And so, they saw me, gave me that opportunity at that time, and that was how I went through the 4 walls of formal education. And so, eventually, I graduated secondary school, and it was time for me to go to school. And I remember then when I got to Kwara, I came on IJMB. And then when I was doing IJMB in Taiwo Road, at some point, I decided that I was going to leave. I had some conviction at that time. I told my fellowship that I'm not going to continue as the fellowship president. I want to leave. I feel that God has admitted me to the University of Ilorin. And I'm sharing this story because of somebody on this seat today. And so, I came into the University of Ilorin. The fellowship, I stopped attending normal church. I started going to student fellowship. And then the fellowship I was attending, they had a patron. The man was head of agronomy that time. So they asked that I would go and visit the man. I went to see him. He said he was going to see what he can do to assist. I had all the JAMB results. I passed my pursuit TME. But for some reasons, I was not admitted. So I took decisions into my hand. I would go to admission office. Then, distinguished Afanla he was in charge of the admission unit. Sir, I will come to the front of your office and I'll be shedding tears. The admission officer will tell me that, bro, me too, I have a son that is looking for admission in the security man on duty. We say, my son, you can't come and cry. This is not a secondary school. I have a son too looking for admission. He has not been admitted. I'll say, I feel that I deserve it, but I don't know anybody in this school. So one day, Professor, that head of agronomy from Greek, the man was passing by and he told me that, my son, why? What are you doing here? I said, sir, I was in your office the other day, took class fund, and now I'm trying to get admitted. He said, follow me. So he took me to admission officer. There we met Afanla. And I've been going there every time. They've always chased me out. That this is not the point. This is not where you come and cry to be admitted. So that day I was there, and the man told that, they had some conversation. Maybe they had a child that was trying to change a course. And the man said, well, he told that I found out, brought me into his office and he asked me to sit down. And they offered me tea. Maybe he has forgotten. But he told Afala that this boy, his father, when I was in night post, was my boss. My father never worked in night post. And he said, that's what do you have in your job? I mentioned, where are you from? Ogun State. Okay, so Afala said, Prof, admission has closed, honestly. There is nothing we can do at this stage. However, there is a list, maybe 15 list, that is coming soon. Let him drop his document. Maybe he will be fortunate. So on Thursday, each time I check admission, I have this flip phone. What you will see is that, sorry, you have not been recommended for admission. Please check back later. All in red. But this particular day, I checked it and I saw congratulations, exclamation. In green, you have been offered provisional. The only place where they said click here, that's the red part. And that was how I was offered admission. So the first thing I want to say to each and every one of you here is this: decision decide destiny. When I look at the number of children that my father gave birth to and the things that God is doing through my life, I cannot just say that, okay, I was fortunate. What started that journey was that I chose to run. If I did not run from selling meat to saying that I want to be somebody in life, it's possible that my grandfather will not pick me up. So one thing I want you to take away from today is that your decision decide your destiny. Pick that and pick it very importantly. Another thing is that I noticed and figured that many of us are student leaders. The deal was sharing a story about when I was in school. I stumbled into student unionism by chance. When I got to school, we were so poor. It took a village to send me to school. And so when I got here, I knew that I had to be the best or go back home. So I was a university scholar. At some point, the university chose me as part of those to represent them in the intra-African exchange program. I've never been class rep. I've never been faculty anything. I don't even know politics as a matter of fact. The only thing I used to do is train people through tutorials. So what I want to know is that life will not act. He actually slapped me, unprovoked. But you know what I discovered? Is that I knew where I was coming from. So the slap was more, I look at it in retrospect and I see that it's actually a blessing. Because when some members of my team decided that they were going to lock, what happened that day? I think it was the governor that was having an event. That then Subdean of Student Affairs, now Professor Yusuf, went with the EXCOs for the event. And I said it will not be nice that somebody will not stay back. Because it's a CBT period. Students, parents, we have different stories. Let me just stay back and be with students. And I was with students. And if you know me very well when I was president, I'm not very, you can see the way our Vice-Chancellor is very down to earth and very simple. If you see me, you may not know that I'm the president, honestly. And so, probably that was what cost it. But if he can do it to me, then the impression was that an average student should be treated with dignity. And so, that event happened. But it is not that the event happened. Everybody make mistakes. But what happened was the fact how the event was reconciled. How it was managed. The fact that we didn't want violence. The fact that the student unity of the Better by Far institution is constructive. We said when we choose the peace of our institution over personal ego. And so I put a call through to the Vice-Chancellor then and said, Pop, I would prefer that we have a sit down and we trash it. And the first statement that I released was that I have forgiven Dr. Ajiboye. And students started saying that, no, you must be stupid. Because he did not offend you. He offended the establishment of the union. All of those grammars. So one thing I want to emphasize is that as a union executive, you must not allow the title to get into your head. You must understand that it's a call to service. See, it is not to, this is not time to brag, but let me show you some numbers. Right now, I run a real estate development company in Lagos with tentacles across different continents. Guys, I'm only 31. Some of my biggest clients were through the University of Ilorin, students, alumnus, or people that I did one thing to, who had one or two good things to say about me. There was a time sometimes before I got here, somebody was telling me that somebody wanted to give us money. They were having issues. The guy was saying he doesn't trust companies in Nigeria. And he said, the guy is in the US Navy, And he said, Eminent is the owner of the company now. He said, which Eminent? The one that was president when we were in school. And the guy said, put me on a call with him. And we had a conversation, and he made his deposits. Now, what I'm trying to say is that you may never imagine, but you see these little tiny positions that you might not, you might think that I'm just a student union president. Don't look at it in terms of that title. Look at it in terms of what you can actually do to impact the life of students. And another thing I want to say is this. University of Law, we say probitas doctrina. Learning through character. You must demonstrate character. Because see, your skill can take you to a room. It takes your character to keep you there. So you must understand that whatever you are doing, the world is watching. Who are you becoming in the process? I remember when, the team was saying something about when I left the office and Faculty of Engineering had the chance to lead the student union. Part of the thing that it was just a privilege. Part of it, who is for faculty about here? That's the heart of the school. That's the number one faculty. Okay? When art speaks, other listens. Okay, that's by the way. So one of the things that you want to be careful about, especially as student leaders, you must understand that the role that you occupy. See, what you are doing now, it's enough CV to get to anywhere you want to get to. To round up, when I got to NYSC camp, I left University of Lagos camp. The moment I got to...
I am just under the pressure of time to ensure that you make it brief. If you actually celebrate him, you can do better. And there is a law of celebration. What you celebrate will become. And what you celebrate, you can be greater than. If you want to celebrate him, please celebrate him more. Thank you. Thank you. Be seated. Just a brief recap, because we want to interact with the Vice-Chancellor now. If I have not decided to stand up, I know Eminent will take some more minutes. And it's worth it. It's really worth it because it's a lot of sacrifice for your institution to call you in the morning. You have other engagement, and then you abandon and you get on the road to come to Ilorin. If we give him 1 hour, 2 hours, I think it's worth more than that. It's worth more than that. Maybe Eminent also did not say some of the things that University of Ilorin, he said something about how he got admitted, how he was offered tea. You are not the only one there. I found offer things like that, but I'll keep my own. So there are other people who can share the testimony of both Kenya and China tea. University of Ilorin will always be there for you. Every time I ever spend new note, I will keep my money jealously. So, I'm a teacher. The only way I get those money is from TP and the normal salary. And you know what to take. So because of him, I have to go to bank and ask for new notes. And then when I spray, I was counting how much. Thank you very much. He also did not tell you that on a number of occasions, university have been his major referee. I don't know why I didn't share that. Maybe you think I'm going to ask for tithe. No. I know that when they was going to have a first major breakthrough with South Africa deal, the commission of about 300 million, University of Ilorin was actually the major reason, of course, student affairs. And they didn't tell us about Lawal in your story. Is it still with you? Lawal of Kwasu. Yeah, that's very good. And I know you have engaged a number of University of Ilorin students in your company. To date, the Vice-Chancellor that just told you that Koti Dukia, that's Lukman, 200 best spaces is coming to our campus. He has done so much. I need to let you know that yearly he pays about $1 million plus to support students who cannot pay school fees. Yearly. That I'm aware of. We are not telling you that story because it is eminent only here. We want to raise another 1,000 here. So that by the time you are out of this campus, we can invite you back as our ambassador, distinguished ambassador and alumni, that you can do much more than you have had. I know there are so many quotations from this speech. I managed to write a few down for your sake, and of course for my own easy reference. Life will not ask you for your title.
Number 2, number 3, number 4.
Thank you so much.
Now that one is gone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here. 1, 2. All. Oh yeah.
Number 1.
That's the person now.
No, Ben.
In the Department of Physiology, sir. I believe I, myself, and other presidents here, we are the closest to our students regarding the hierarchy of power. And the question I have been asking, that I have been getting lately from our students regarding how secured all of us have been in this country lately, is that what do the management, what do they have for them in terms of security? Thank you so much, sir.
That lady, this one.
Good evening, sir. I am Ogunleye Oluwatoyin Folukemisola. I am the Senator representing Faculty of Basic Clinical Sciences, and I'm also the Deputy Senate Clerk. I would like to ask some questions, maybe not relating to the welfare of the students, but my question is, if you were to leave one major legacy for students of the university in the next 50 years, where will it be?
Good evening, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, sir, and the rest of the principal officers of the council, sir, and our dear father, Dr. Keji Alex Akamu. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, sir, my question and my foresight is that there were a few things that actually connected my heart to university while I was growing up in Kwara. While we were outside those days, there were students of this university that used to have bags, especially after celebrating academic stability. That was our 40th anniversary. There was this JKK tablet. It stopped. And I discovered that one of the reasons that our university, as the way students have been seeking the university, it has reduced compared to those days, was that some of these things were what actually inspired students to want to come to University of Learning. The fact that I am paying school fee and afterwards I'm getting a JKK tablet or I'm getting a bag, flash drives, all of those things were indirectly actually giving publicity to the school back then. But I discovered that there was an oath to it. And then now, there are no longer things like that. So this is the 50th anniversary. And I know that we are also actually getting a milestone of getting an electric vehicle plant here on campus. But as well, that is going to be working inside. What is the administration planning for an alternative maybe device, laptop, especially for final year students. There are a lot of students that are trying to, fix their project up, and then they don't have access to laptops. They have to, borrow from friends and all of those things. If I am suggesting, if we can have maybe, as Norfund is helping with education, we can have also a device loan from the campus, maybe a laptop, or as the case may be. That's the first. Then the second one, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, sir, I am very pertinent about this as far as the legislative arm of campus is concerned. I am speaking for faculty speakers that are here and also the council at large. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, sir, I feel we are being treated as a second-class citizen. And indeed, the bulk of work of an administration that will function well comes from the council. If the executive is handling the day-to-day activities of campus and it is thriving well, it must mean that the house is in order. You will discover that in the Bible I read, there was a particular entity in the Bible that the Lord spoke to, and he said he should go and put his house in order. And I discovered that criteria of being a deacon, it means that you must have a full control of your house before you can go outside and represent. So in this same limelight, it means that if any executive arm of government is going to work effectively, the legislative arm must not be having problems. They must have the full support. And hence, as legislators, it will be pertinent that the way CEC members of different faculties and the student union are being equipped with interactions that they have with people, connection they have with people. I am emphasizing, as you are the deputy chairman of African universities, that legislators also have an exposure to international collaborations and training. I am aware that in Nigeria we have the high NILDS, a particular institute responsible for training youth and also persons that are coming up. Because I feel University of Ilorin Senate is actually a pitch of the National Assembly, to be very honest. And I can say emphatically that even Kwara State House of Assembly cannot stand beside us. Are they lying?
Oh yeah, thank you. Please round off.
All right, sir. So I would want that legislators be actually, if we can get collaborations out of campus. And finally, I would like to plead for something for you as we are celebrating this 50th anniversary, and that's concerning matters that have been raised as regarding extra credit. There have been a lot of concern, and I'm aware that you are aware of it. And this has been fixed because the president, during the SOTU at the last sitting that we had, he mentioned that they've approved it. But unfortunately, there are some students that have, I understand that it is 26 that is the max, but some of them have just 2 or 3 units left in a semester to complete it. And this is the reason they will be having a spillover by default. If you can look in your magnanimity, sir. If you can help us do something about it. Thank you so much, our dearest Vice Chancellor.
Yes. Next. Please ask your question, make your comment within a minute. Time is already fast spent.
Good evening, sir. I am Rafiat Abdusalam, a 400-level student of the Department of Chemistry and a senator representing the Faculty of Physical Sciences. So, sir, my question is based on good health and well-being. As an SDGs advocate who advocates for good health and well-being, I want to commend the university management and the school clinic for all they've been doing. But I believe one major thing we have been skipping is the mental health. Like, a lot of students are undergoing a lot of mental stress, lots, which are being contributed by a lot of factors, actually. So, and I think mental health summits are not really effective. So, Vice-Chancellor, sir, I want to please beg you, sir, to help us put something that is really sustainable in place so that our mental health can be in a very good place, that even if we want to read during test, exam time, we'll be able to really focus. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, sir. My name is Oluloyo Sheu, one of the senators representing Faculty
What do you say the name is?
Oluloyo Sheu, one of the senators representing Faculty of Communication and Information Science. And I want to bring into your notice that we are approaching the test period, and most of students used to do night class at Faculty of CIS, and this faculty is isolated around bush. And between Faculty of CIS and Faculty of Social Science, there's no light, and there is a lot of bush. And we all know what is going on in the country right now. If someone wants to come here and put on banger and start Allahu Akbar, everybody will go out. So, and my second suggestion is that we have only 5 LRs in Faculty of CIS and 1 CISLT. And this LR can only accommodate 70 students comfortably. And the average number of students in Faculty of CIS in each level is 150 plus, and these nature rooms are not conducive at all for us in the Faculty of Science, except if you are using nature theater, CISLT, and it is only 1. So, thank you, sir.
Thank you. I think the last person on that row.
Thank you very much, the Vice-Chancellor, our father, the Dean of Student Affairs. My name is Musa Morenikeji Mudashiru. Musa Morenikeji Mudashiru. Senator representing the Faculty of Basic Medical Sciences. We thank you for this opportunity, sir. I want to commend the administration for a job well done. Actually, sir, our Sub-Dean Student Affairs in the College of Health Sciences have been very free with us, the representatives. But the fact that we have this opportunity, I just felt like we should make it a one-on-one interaction since we have it. My first suggestion is what my SP already said. When I was home, my brother was a president here. He was always coming home with the tab, and he came home with a merch of the 40th anniversary celebrating academic stability. Then I stole the merch because I really fell in love with the university. But I was very happy when I got to know that I'll be witnessing the 50th anniversary. But to my surprise this afternoon when I got outside, I was looking for where to get the merch, probably the face cap. But on getting to know the price, I was very saddened, sir. I got to know that to get only the face cap, I had to pay at least around 9,000 naira. Just the face cap, not to talk of the t-shirt or even any other package. So, Your Excellency, sir, I want to appeal to the university management to look into this, probably if we can be availed with other lower, cheaper materials that we can always avoid. Also, the last but not least, yes, sir, as a student leader and student representative, we have been repeating this on the floor of the Senate, but we have not been getting results. So I feel like I should mention them here. The first thing is the transportation in college. I believe the transportation issue in our main campus has been receiving a lot of attention, but the transportation issue at the College of Health Sciences have been receiving lower attention as far as we are concerned. The only means of transportation is keke, and the students have been clamoring for an alternative. So we are pleading that the 100 electric buses coming up will be given some substantial number of them. And then lastly, sir, from the university streets, from PS to College of Health Sciences, there are street lights from here to around the pharmacy, Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences. From then to college, there is no street lights. And considering the situation of security of the country, we are pleading that you also help us look into that. We thank you very much for your attention to these matters.
Thank you. We will, sorry, it didn't get to your hand. Let me just attempt to address some of these issues. Let me assure all of us that as a university, we have in place strategies to secure our campus, and I can assure you that by God's grace we'll continue to be safe. The question, what legacy will I leave for the next generation? If you listen to my press briefing this morning, as far as we are concerned, we're looking forward to a university that will compete effectively with any other university in the world, and that is why we are giving you the best that we can. And the morning shows the day. What we have tried to do is that this celebration is targeted at providing innovation hub for the university. And as a precursor to that, we are going to be commissioning like an ideation center that has been completed where you could thrive. And as part of our vision for that, what next in 50 years, I called attention to the fact that we are going to be producing a student that is imbued with 21st century skills that will be available for him or her when he or she leaves this university. So our legacy is to ensure that our products remain the best in the labor market. The Senate President has raised a number of issues. The trajectory of the JKK tablet and its successor has actually driven administration away from investing in it. Now that we have raised it, coupled with what Musa Morenikeji also said, it means that you have challenged us that for 50th, at least for 50th anniversary, we must have something that will connect you, students, to the university, indicating 50th anniversary, and that we will do. I challenge the chair of 50th anniversary, the acting dean of students, and they will come up with the package that will be available for your use. As a student of law, I have written extensively on the place of the judiciary in the power matrix. And in my researches, I have also hinted at the fact that when we talk about democracy, we are talking about the legislature. The legislative arm is not second class to the other arms of government. What we need to know is that our mission, our mandate, and our position in the constitutional arrangement are different. And you can make the best of your position as legislators that will make you as relevant as other arms of government. The point that you have made is that there is need for leadership training and retraining for that segment of the leadership. Be assured that we will also put measures in place to see how we can involve the legislative arm the more in the student union relation. Extra credit. I'm aware that the Deputy Vice-Chancellor Academic has been approving extra credit. But what I will not promise you, it may not sound politically correct, it may not sound palatable, it may be difficult for you to swallow, but the truth is, like I said on the day of matriculation, it is not when you are quarter to graduating that you will start preparing for first class. It is not quarter to when you are graduating that you will be afraid that I will have extra semester or extra session. The rules are clear, and you have to know that whether we like it or not, there is a ceiling. And if for any reason you now have one extra credit above that ceiling, there is nothing Egbewole can do about it. What is permissible, what we can accommodate, we are currently doing within the rules of the university. Number one here. Oh. Sorry. Rofia raised the issue of mental health. As a university, today we have set up, because we talked about an enduring position, we have set up a mental health committee, and I think it's been championed by Dr. Buhari Abi. No. It's Buhari of the behavioral sciences. But maybe one of the things that I see as a challenge is that we have not been doing serious advocacy. We also know, because I am aware that as part of our strategy, we have also identified a few things. And one of the causes, yes, you could say, oh, maybe the environment is stressful, maybe this, maybe that. But don't forget, some of us also go outside of our way to engage in drug abuse. And for me, one of the things you need to do for us as student leaders is also to do a lot of advocacy to your colleagues on why we need to disabuse the abuse of substances, because it's not just drug alone. Olilo Osho talked about the night class in CIS. We will engage the director of works to see what they can do to ensure that the light is provided. And of course, between pharmacy and college, we also see if we can make adequate provision. But let me appeal. If for any reason you are going to night classes, don't go alone. 2, don't stay in dark places. You will agree that we have listed a lot of places, but it's just that it has not reached those places that you have talked about. But talking about between social sciences and CIS, we will try and see what can be done before the exam starts. Transportation to college. Be assured that as part of the plan that is currently on, it is not, you won't even have to drop at the old park. We are making arrangements for you to go directly from wherever to college, and by God's grace, it's going to work out. Yes. Please, let's be very, very short. Otherwise, you will force me to be shutting you down. Microphone.
coming down.
I want to stand on the already established protocol. I am Lawal Ibrahim Anigilaje from the Faculty of Education, Department of Science Education. I am the General Secretary of the Postgraduate Student Association. First of all, I consider this a great privilege to speak before the Honorable Vice-Chancellor, and I want to commend the Vice-Chancellor for your visionary leadership. And I want to say that your administration has witnessed academic excellence, global partnerships, and research support for all postgraduate students at this university. I want to come in from the aspect of student ID cards. During our last meeting with some major stakeholders on campus, so we discussed this issue and we were assured that necessary actions will be done regarding this. But till now, we have not seen any radical developments. And I must say that even during this meeting, I had some messages from some of our fellow researchers who want to apply for scholarships, for grants, and they need the institutional ID cards for them to be considered. That is number one. The second one is regarding the institutional mails. The postgraduate students are committed to supporting the Vice-Chancellor's mission 110-500. And for us to do that, we need to come up with innovations and excellent research. And we need our institutional mails for us to also contribute and register ourselves on ResearchGate and other research platforms. So during our last meeting, we were told that the month we had the meeting, by the end of that month, we would have our student mails. But up to now, we have not had anything. Then, lastly, so regarding plagiarism checker, as we know, for us to have quality research, so there must be a platform whereby we'll be able to undergo plagiarism check. And we asked if we can also get some platforms like Turnitin registered within campus, because I have a friend at University of Ibadan. So throughout their studentship, they have access to using Turnitin. So if we can also have that, I believe it will improve the quality of our research. Thank you very much.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, Mr. Vice President, sir. My name is Odele Omowumi Margaret. Vice-Chancellor, sorry about that. My name is Odele Omowumi Margaret. I'm the Vice President of Postgraduate School. And one thing I would like to say is about the well-being of our students. So regarding that, that's regarding the transportation. And if you want to look at it, that's still about the stress level. There was at the park, and then I almost cried because I could see some of them having 8 o'clock lectures and they were still there at 9 a.m. And the thing is, there's something about face tanker, and we have lots of our new students that are coming in, going to lectures. So that they will not say that it's because of the transportation issue that they face tanker, as we always say. So I would like to ask you, sir, with respect, sir, that whatsoever thing you are planning for us regarding the transportation to be quickly, so that we will not put that as an excuse as failing our courses. Thank you so much, sir.
Number 3.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, the Vice-Chancellor. Good evening, the other distinguished
gentlemen. So, yeah, I want to quickly say something. We held a meeting with the Dean of Student Affairs, but unfortunately...
Who are you?
I'm sorry, my name is Abraham Edidiong Edem, the President, Faculty of Environmental Sciences Student Association. We held a meeting recently with the Dean of Student Affairs, and unfortunately, I forgot to mention a particularly important issue that we faced in environmental sciences just recently, one of which is issues with lecture halls. We had to go, many of our classes were cancelled. I had a lot of students who were always complaining, class reps reaching out to me, and I think we had a battle that ensued with usage of IBSLT, IBSLR, and now we've been given 2 classrooms, and the capacity for the classrooms are 100 for each of them, and the courses that are being sent to these classes are courses with students around 200, 250, and now they're asking them to stand, and that's not very well. But I'd like to quickly say something very quickly too, as regards the school's response to issues. Recently, we had, there was something that happened on the internet, X to be precise, where a few persons went on to say some things about the school. And I could say categorically that some of them were misstated, but I would still say that although the school is doing so much recently as regards involving the students and getting to resolve their issues, I think the school needs to work more as regards all of these things. Because response to issues, as we saw a lot of issues bordering on...
What kind of issue?
Okay, one of them is sexual misconduct from lecturers. And that was something that...
And will you mention a particular one that had... Wait, I'm not putting you on the spot. That had been raised and you think had not been addressed?
No, sir, I cannot. So
let me just assure you, if even anonymously, if any of you gets anybody that is involved in any form of malpractice, either sex for mark, money for mark, just find a way to get it to administration and we will respond appropriately. Because those that had been mentioned, and I can give you their names, presently, virtually all of them are suspended from here, just undergoing the normal processes of disciplinary measures.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for that, sir. So yeah, I also want to talk about the inclusion of students as regards policy making, because something happened that was not very, very encouraging as regards the transportation issues. As student leaders, I think we have a job to relay issues and all of these things to the students. But we got to realize on the same day the policy was implemented from unofficial channels, and that was not very, and that's what largely led to the outrage from students, because everybody was like, what is this one, what is that one? Now, if we had been informed earlier, and then we would have found a way to communicate to the student as regards why this move was necessary, it should have helped a lot as regards this thing. And also, sir, finally, I'd like to just say that a while ago, we had a Google form that was passed across students, across departments, where students could give their opinion on certain things anonymously. I can't remember. But I don't know if there's something that can be done to also get more responsibility. Because I'm not sure there was responses as regards that one, but we did not see them. I like that there are more channels that are open to students anonymously or maybe not anonymously to give their opinion as regards certain things. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. After that one, there will be only one that I will take from this row.
All right. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, sir, and every other principal and notable members of the university community, good evening, and a sincere appreciation for giving us this opportunity to speak to you in person. I am Muhammad Sabur Shinola, the President, Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences, and with me, I have just a couple of issues that I want to raise to us. Firstly, everyone will agree with me that the current security situation in the country is one that is very, very concerning, and the panic from insecurity is rising every day. On Friday, I was given a lift by a student's parent along
along College of Health Sciences, that's from pharmacy to College of Health Sciences, and some cattle crossed the road. And the mother of the children asked, "Are those not Fulani?" I could not utter a word throughout the trip because I was afraid to say no or yes or make any form of contributions, given that I'm a student leader and the students are from my faculty. We understand that these particular people, some of them are early settlers in the university community. Perhaps they have settlements and they have homes within the university landmass. But I would, like you have mentioned, the school is making enough effort to keep the campus secure. But I would also implore and add that this panic, the mother complained bitterly. She pressed the brake and the car was hot for more than 30 seconds. Are you real? Is that really happening? Are these really... I know these are just questions that sometimes we continue to wonder about. I would like to implore that the university take extra measures. And to be very honest, looking at the trend of insecurity, it is something that is most likely beyond the security power of the university security themselves. I would like if this university can, in their power, seek more support and more security consciousness from perhaps the federal government or something like that. Because like you said, we have to be proactive before things like this happen. Also, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, this session, the announcement for the school fees charges was made on the day of resumption. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, this caused a lot of inconveniences on the students. Previously, we used to have the school charges announcement a couple of weeks before resumption. And this will give students an ample of more time to prepare their minds. Even without increment, it is still very difficult to pay some of these charges. My faculty, this last session, we had up to about 200%, 270% increase in our school fees. My entire journey from 100 level to 500 level, I've paid just 310,000. And I was asked to pay 281,000 naira in 600 level alone. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, this caused a lot of panic. For several weeks, students, I received personal calls from parents. I will just have a feeling, although we understand that the federal government is not supporting universities as much as we believed are required, but I do not believe that a school founded by the federal government should be funded by students. Mr. Vice-Chancellor.
That will be all for you. Please, let's move. I understand the last guy at the top. No. Sorry. So that you can have a female voice. Otherwise, everybody will be saying the same thing. Yes, and be quick at it, please.
All right. Good evening, sir. The Vice-Chancellor, the University Librarian, all other protocols are duly and accurately observed. I am Ali Unimo Indamola, a 400 level student from the Faculty of Agriculture. Basically, let me say one of the major issues we are having in Faculty of Agric is we do not have network at our faculty. In fact, to load WhatsApp messages at the faculty sometimes might be like very, very difficult. That we have to like go to Faculty of Management, Social Sciences to load WhatsApp messages, not to talk of download PDFs and all of that. And we do not have any source of Wi-Fi or any other means for network. So that is basic. Thank you, sir.
Well, for issues that have been raised here, Lawal Ibrahim, ID cards. I'm surprised that we are still talking about ID cards. Maybe we have pushed our eyes from the ball. We'll go back to it and see. I hope please, somebody should note for the Dean of PG School and DCOMSIT to sort this out. On plagiarism, checker. We have J-Gate that is available for all of us, and I recall that the last time the executive of the PG school came, we called attention to it. But the dean of PG school said there is one discussed with the librarian, and they would, because like you said, the way to progress as researchers is to be able to be sure that you have access. Also, institutional mails, I'm also surprised because at such a fora, we have the necessary institutional officers that are supposed to be looking at it. Please, Dean of Students, with regards to mails and ID card, transportation. Our lady from the PG school has also raised the issue. There is no gainsaying the fact that yes, it is a challenge. But the truth is that we are confronting the challenge and we are doing our best to reduce the time that, and I can say with all sense of responsibility that at least in the last 3 weeks, I resume at the park every day and ensure that the process is smoother than it was. We have not reached where we are going, but be assured that it's not going to take forever or take longer than expected. It's a hope that, and you will recall I sent a message about 7 days, 8 days ago, and I talked about this, and I'm still saying it. It's not as if I have the money to get the vehicles that we are not getting, but these things take process. And I told the press briefing session this morning that we are not only looking at just getting vehicles, making transportation easier, we are also looking at ensuring that an assembly plant for vehicle is established on our campus. So if we are thinking in that big manner, as much as problematic as this is, we are going to make it a lot easier. And every day, we're coming up with better strategies. We're hoping that the matter will be resolved soon. And of course, Abraham also hinted at the issue of transportation. Lecture halls for management sciences, I'm aware because they didn't raise it, and we just, it was a 4 number classroom was just handed over to us. It's just a matter of process to ensure that we take it, and the allocation will be done. I'm sure it will be available. Some of them will be available for your use. With regards to social media, if we have any negative report with respect to any worker, any academic staff, any lecturer, any student, it's negative. The only thing we can do is to go back to our system and ensure that we do the best to ensure that we nip the matter in the bud. And that's why I said, if you have anyone, because those ones that were mentioned in the X handle are already being addressed. But we can't go back to X handle to say A has been expelled, B has been expelled. We will just be fueling negativity for our university. We are addressing it, and please take my words for it. We are addressing. Some of them have resigned. Some of them have been terminated. Appointments have been terminated. Some of them are undergoing disciplinary measures now. Here, I will take 4.
The Vice-Chancellor. So I am all protocol. I am Dikolua Mustafa from the department.
You are
Dikolua Mustafa.
Dikolua.
I am Dikolua Mustafa.
Okay.
From the Department of Medical Laboratory Science, Faculty of Basic Clinical Sciences. So First here, I would like to raise the issue of a school clinic at the new college, sir. We've had issues of people falling sick, not being able, and even when we go to the university, the hospital, the teaching hospital there, they'll tell us to go and get a referral letter from here. And if it's, let's assume a case of a situation.
What is the matter with the clinic in the college? Because I know that they just refurbished it.
Yeah, sir, even overnight.
Huh?
Overnight, and it's also not ideally functional.
Okay, it's not working overnight.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's not functional. In fact, not functional as we expect it to be. So, also on the issue of lecturers, we are facing a lecture halls.
Okay.
We are facing issues of lecturers. We have had classes being cancelled, classes being postponed. I was the class representative of my class last year. We have classes clashing with exams, and we have to be telling people to go out because they have a class. They will tell us they have exams, so it's not by exams, and we don't think that should be ideal for a university of this standard. So, also on this issue of security concerns, sir, we had men walking around the College of Health Sciences, and these men are not security personnel, sir. They are not lecturers. They are these headsmen. And we had a case last year of someone following a girl to the hostel, even not because of the security men that stood to the rescue, sir. So please, if you can help us look into that, sir. So also we need a park, something that is shelter-like, because shelter-like, sir, something that can serve. We've had cases of people standing under the sun, under the rain, because we are at the College of Health Sciences, sir, both new and old college. People are queuing at the park, and there's no shelter.
Which park?
The park has old college and new college, sir. UITH, yes, sir, and new college.
We don't have control over UITH.
The park there for students. For new college, sir.
In new college?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, okay. Okay, sir. I think that should be all for now. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I didn't address choose one to represent you.
Good evening, sir.
Good
Mr.
evening.
Vice-Chancellor. Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Widad Ayinla, sir.
Is what?
Widad. Yes, sir. I'm from Physiology Department and I'm the Vice President of Faculty of Basic Medical Sciences, sir. I actually have 3 pleas, to which one of my senators, Senator Moroni, already talked about this transportation issue, but I would like to add to it, sir. Now, this case, we have PS students joining us. Like, if they want to go, they now prefer spending more. It's more convenient to take from PS to college to where they are living. But now it's becoming inconvenient for us because now it's getting longer, especially when we don't have tricycles. Normally, it's just few tricycles that we're having. And regarding the sick bay, sir, please, we need to do something very fast regarding it because last night,
regarding
the sick bay, sir, it's not functioning at all. Last night, a lady was bitten by a snake, and we had to rush her to the UITH. There was no sick bay functioning. And the college gates, they always close at 8 p.m. I get the fact that the security reason is very reasonable, but in some cases, this is like a college, a medical student base, that they are meant to like open it for us, especially if for security reasons, sir. Please help us look into that, sir. And lastly, we have this issue regarding hostel. Students are not allowed to enter the hostel after 12 a.m. in the morning and 5 a.m. And normally in college, we want to go to night class to read. And they don't allow us back into the hostel once it's 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. And the hostel representative has already submitted a letter to the student affairs. It would have been good if we were given electricity, sir, to read. But we're only giving electricity from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. in the night. So if they can do something regarding the electricity, even if they will not allow us to enter the hostel during this duration of time, they should be giving us electricity to read very well.
Hello, sir. My name is Abdullahi Elizabeth from the Department of Physiotherapy. I'm the Vice President. Thank you, sir, for this opportunity. So I would just like to say something that she has said about the security of the, passing towards college back. The time is 7:35 now.
and we don't know when we'll be done here. So please, I would like to plead with you to please inform the security members to let us pass through while going back. Thank you very much, sir.
Good evening, VC, sir. Good evening, men and women of great professionality at the student board. We thank you for this great privilege.
What do you say the name is?
The name is Ayenimelo Samuel Oluwapolumi from the Faculty of Physical Sciences. Now, it is only due and important to appreciate the fact that the school management has done a lot in putting things in order for school populace. But at the same time, I would love to implore the management, especially the student affairs units, to please release book-cure of the code of conduct to students. In the past weeks, the code of conduct for students on campus. Because in the past weeks, we've had students doing some things which is unknown to them, but is seen on campus. And in all fairness to them, they are doing things which are not against school rules due to the fact that they are ignorant. So I would love to implore with the school management to please release the code of conduct to students early so that they know how to behave on campus. Thank you.
Code of conduct is on our website in the student's handbook. You can download it. I'm saying it without equivocation. It's only for you to access it and download it. And for us, we are also, is part of the kind of training that we are giving you. There is no reason why we will be carrying about books if you can access it. Elizabeth, let me assure you that nobody is going to stop you from getting back to school now. With that, I think it is in our collective interest to put measures in place to ensure that we lock our gates at particular time and not open it until a particular time. Because at the end of the day, what we see as inconvenience to just a few will expose the majority. 12 a.m. for me is even late. In some universities by 10 p.m. you can go in or go out. So staying outside till 12 a.m. when you know that you will not be out till after 5 a.m. is not, I don't think is ideal. That's the truth. If you have to read, the only thing I believe we need to do is to see how we can make your hostels all functional in terms of providing facilities for you to read. I think the same issue is about the gate. We will also call attention because it's just exercise of discretion. If a patient is being rushed to clinic, there's no reason why they will not allow. Now with the sick bay, Dean Student Affairs, I thought that while we had to invest in making the college clinic functional is for it to be available for the students. Please let us interact with the Director of Health Services to ensure that we do whatever is necessary to make the place function. I know one of the challenges that they have is personnel. And what we have done is to employ what they call locum. What we have done is to also employ people that will work and get paid within the, so if there is need for us to involve more hands in terms of locum to oversee the place, we will do. Well, transport, that some people still by with that. Some people they are using the advantage of the college vehicles to also take care of people that are not going to college, inconveniencing
the people going to college, but also taking advantage. There is a Yoruba proverb, "Oni lepo lepo tóun, era ló wọ̀ ọ́n lójú." It is not enough for you people in college, and some people are. So what I think the problem is, by the time we increase the number of fleets, it becomes a thing of the past. The only thing about the park at the college, we will also direct the director of works. So, Dean, all of this is, please generate a memo so that we will be able to call the park at the new college. We'll see what we can do about it. But you know that even if I promise that we are going to do something about it, it's not something that will happen tomorrow or day after. Lecture halls, security. Mustafa called attention to security, which I believe we have addressed extensively. But the truth is, luckily the director of security is there. He's also hearing what we are saying. We will go back to the drawing board and see how best we can mitigate this challenge. Lecture halls. I am aware that we are building, is it 2 or 3 number 250 classrooms in the college. We are building another 100 lecture capacity classroom in college for nursing. There's also classroom that is in the pipeline for dentistry. So I believe by the time these facilities are on ground, and you will agree with me that there is a lecture theater that is ongoing in the college even now. So when all those things are completed, I'm sure it will minimize the challenge that we are currently having. Thank you so very much for your comments.
Thank you very much. We cannot able on our part to allow the Vice-Chancellor go. Can we please put down the hands? Thank you very much, because we just said that it's first of its kind, and we should not abuse the opportunity so there can be more repeat of such. Apart from 50th anniversary, I'm sure this is the first time in the issue of 5th anniversary issue. But I know the Vice-Chancellor has interacted more than one time with the student body. Incidentally, this program is targeted at addressing where we want to be in the next future. But by and large, people have opened up a number of issues that, when they are addressed, it's still going to better position us come next 50 years to come. So we'll appreciate that you have raised this issue. And somebody said in his lifetime he was able to see Vice-Chancellor once on the matriculation day. And unfortunately, he could not get into the hall on the convocation day. So in his lifetime, he saw the Vice-Chancellor once. We are opportune to see our own Vice-Chancellor almost every time. We appreciate your own. Okay. Yeah? Yes. I think it was part of the blueprint that you did approve when I became the day, so that we have a periodic interaction with the student body. I'm sure you want a repeat of this, not necessarily for 50th anniversary, so that we can appraise and evaluate. Thank you very much for being part. Baba Ogunkunle, who never want to be a lawyer, Ogunrotimi. The vice we have here is a lawyer and is a senior advocate of Nigeria. And I also dream to become a lawyer very soon. I try to connect with my root again too. Thank you very much. The person that can do this better will be the registrar. To thank you and to thank our guests. So I have the real privilege of inviting the registrar to do the vote of thanks. I appreciate all of us. Our resource person, Professor A. Yusuf. Of course, I will personally call your wife that you are with us in the Lord and you are safe. Thank you very much. The registrar, sir. MA is inviting MA. You may want to thank us. Thank you very much. I believe our time is fast spent. Of course, we have judiciously used the time too. We have gained a lot from the speech of the Vice-Chancellor. We have gained a lot from the speech of the Dean Student Affairs. We have equally gained a lot from our guest speaker as well as Lukman Shobo-Wale. Well, whatever you do lives after you. I didn't know that Lukman remembers all that happened during that time. But thank God that he got admission, he has graduated, and is here where he is today. First and foremost, I want to thank the Vice-Chancellor for, on a lighter mode, donating himself to be available with us this evening and to equally listen carefully to our yearnings. He is not making empty promises because he's a man of his words. I work with him and I know what he will not do, he will not say it. He will not shy away from saying I won't do it. So I want to appreciate the Vice-Chancellor who has actually acted in the spirit in which Lukman Shobo-Wale described that a leader is not necessarily a servant, but he serves people to be happy. VC is serving us to be happy. Hence our coming together here this evening. We never knew we would get to this time, but of course the discussion is quite interesting and quite impressive. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, we are grateful to you. We thank you a lot. God will continue to endow you in wisdom. God will continue to endow you in knowledge, and will give you the strength to continue to pilot the affairs of the university. We are in it together, and will never renege in supporting you, sir. Equally, the principal officers who are quite loyal and dedicated. What is happening is uncommon because I've been on this campus for almost 28 years. And I've practically worked virtually with all the vice-chancellors or administration. If they say there is a winning team, this is a winning team. We have never had it like this. All other principal officers, we want to appreciate you for your cooperation, for your dedication, support for the vice-chancellor and for the university system at large. I want to appreciate the chairman of 50th anniversary. Well, seeing him, you will know that it's he with the cap fit that is piloting the affairs of the 50th anniversary. That is Professor Mokolu for you. He never appears tired. Tell him to keep sitting here till tomorrow morning. You will still see him being strengthful. We thank you very much for putting these laudable programs together in celebration of the 50th anniversary of the University of Ilorin. Of course, I will not but appreciate our guest lecturer. It's unfortunate that so many of you didn't know who Comrade is. But for those in the Institute of Education today, they know who Comrade is. He was one time a subdean at the Student Affairs. And if you see the way he mingles with the student then, you will know that he's on top of the game. Well, the combination of Comrade and the Dean Student Affairs is not by surprise. And it's not just a coincidence or as a God-designed combination. We want to thank Professor A. Yusuf, and we want to thank the Dean Student Affairs. Of course, my brother, in person of Lukman Shobo-Wale, you could see how he risked his life because he wants to appear before you. He has a donation, he would have done it by proxy. But because of the love he has for the university, he put his car on the road and he has to come and address us here. We appreciate you. The Lord has brought you here safely, will return you back home safely. Please appeal on our behalf, appeal to your wife to forgive us for taking you in from her tonight. Well, I want to appreciate the entire 50th anniversary committee members. They are very, very wonderful. I continue to wonder where they generate their strength. And they have been, oh, I'm sorry. I have my employers here. If I want to secure my job, I will need to become them and I will need to acknowledge them. Eminent council members that are here present, we appreciate you. We value your being with us. We thank you so much. My sister, Engineer Eswat, Don't mind her in Ijabu. She is a dogged fighter. Yes. Yes, she is a dogged fighter. We appreciate you. Thanks a lot. The who else will I not appreciate? The students. Calling you is one thing. You responding is another thing. For those of you that have chosen to come here, we appreciate you a lot. And finally, we want to thank the God Almighty. Though I'm supposed to put him first, but wherever you put God, God is there for you. Whether at the beginning, whether at the end. And who owns the beginning? He owns the beginning. Who owns the end? He owns the end. I want to thank him for making today's activity a reality. We pray that the remaining ones too will end in success. Thank you very much.
The program marking the 50th anniversary of our university continues tomorrow. And it's going to be Alumni Day tomorrow. So you are all expected to be here to join those who passed out of this university years ago, so that you see, you listen to their stories, be part of it, and that will also guide you during your own days. Shall we arise, ladies and gentlemen, for the university anthem? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.